From the moment the sound cuts through the open country and the music fades in, you can feel the anticipation building as the stand begins to come alive, the collar positioned just right about 20 yards out in front of us, sitting in a perfect little pocket where the sun is lighting up every shallow ditch and subtle contour in the terrain, creating ideal visibility and shadow contrast. And it feels like one of those spots where something is about to happen, where the setup is too good for coyotes not to show, and sure enough the first movement breaks the stillness as a coyote commits hard, charging straight in with purpose, closing the distance fast, and when that moment comes the shot breaks clean, a 458 sock'em sending authority downrange, folding that big old coyote right there, no hesitation, no second guessing, just execution, and before the adrenaline even settles we're already resetting, eyes scanning, hands moving instinctively because predator stands like this rarely end. With just one, and that instinct proves right as another coyote materializes, this one farther out, easily a mile away at first glance, just a speck moving with intent, and that's when decisions matter because range changes everything, so the rifle swap happens fast, the 6.5 Creedmoor coming up, a setup built for reach and precision, ready in case this coyote decides to hang up or test us. And as the music pulses and the call keeps working, that coyote keeps closing, rolling and steady, committed until suddenly the distance collapses and chaos sets in as a close-range opportunity presents itself again. And in that rush there's a hiccup, an unloaded chamber, a quick correction, a round sent home, and the coyote bolts, sprinting hard before stopping just long enough at around 200 yards for the shot to thread perfectly through the front shoulder, dropping him in his tracks. Proof that even when things don't go perfectly, preparation and calm execution still win. And standing there looking at two coyotes down from one stand with two completely different calibers, two completely different distances, it hits you just how dynamic predator hunting really is, and it doesn't stop there because while dragging one of those coyotes back, another call rings out, another set of eyes spots movement, and without hesitation the hunter hits the ground, rests off the collar itself, steadies the shot, and drops yet another coyote at around 60 yards, a wild sequence that feels almost unreal as the stand just keeps producing, and as the morning rolls on the pattern continues, coyotes responding aggressively, charging in straight lines, some cautious, some reckless, all falling victim to smart setups, good wind reads, and disciplined shooting. And when 3 coyotes hit the dirt in quick succession on a single stand, it becomes one of those moments you talk about for years, the kind of stand where every 5 minutes something new happens, first one coyote, then another after the volume gets bumped up and the call reaches out into uncharted territory, pulling predators from distances you wouldn't expect. And that's when the conversation turns to gear advantages, especially suppressors, because with suppressed shots the stand doesn't fall apart, coyotes don't instantly know what happened, and you're able to keep calling, keep working the setup, and keep stacking opportunities without blowing everything out, and that advantage shows again. as subsonic 458 SOCM rounds quietly do devastating work, heavy bullets moving slow, barely cracking the air, yet hitting with undeniable authority, dropping coyotes on the spot without alerting anything else in the area, and stand after stand the momentum keeps building, double downs turning into triples, coyotes charging straight to the collar, stopping just long enough at 50, 60, 70 yards before the trigger breaks, some stands happening in brutal 30-mile-per-hour winds where, instead of fighting it, the setup uses the wind, placing the collar upwind and letting coyotes naturally circle into perfect shooting lanes, piling up downwind exactly where expected, proving once again that understanding wind behavior is just as important as marksmanship. And even when conditions make filming difficult, when coyotes come in so close the camera can't even focus, the results speak for themselves. Ranchers end the day smiling, stands end with fur on the ground and the energy. Never really dips because every setup feels like it could explode at any second, and by the time the dust settles you're looking back at an incredible run of stands filled with fast decisions, clean shots, equipment doing exactly what it's built to do, and hunters operating in sync with each other and the land, adapting to distance, wind, and behavior on the fly, and that's what makes days like this unforgettable, not just the number of coyotes taken but the way it all comes together naturally, organically, one stand flowing into the next, music rising and falling, adrenaline spiking and settling, and the realization that this is exactly why we do it, why we scout, why we plan, why we sit still and trust the process, because when it all clicks like this, when coyotes keep coming, when double downs turn into triples and stands stack back to back, it becomes more than just hunting, it becomes a story you'll replay in your head long after the last shot fades into the wind.
If you'll enjoy this video, please like and subscribe my channel for more information.